Hi everyone, and welcome back to my Whispering Willows. I'm going to continue to color this beautiful clownfish a bit today, and I also wanted to continue to speak a little bit about the situation because, well, I had a tough call today, and I was tough call, but I was talking to my grandmother, and I got really sad because I'm not living anywhere near her, and I do miss her. And the thing is, I asked her when the last time was when she got a hug, because I haven't seen her in a while. And she said she hadn't been hugged since early this summer, and this makes me want to cry so bad I can't even begin to say, because it's truly unacceptable the way we are being told to treat the elderly. They are being isolated completely and being put in jail, to be exact. And these are the ones that have cared for us when we were kids and little, and have seen to it that we got the best care and we got best aid for whatever ailment was hurting us, and we are treating our elderly like they are criminals, locking them inside, not being able to go out and get some sunshine, which they need more than anyone else for that matter. Keeping our distance, being good citizens, right? My ass. They need hugs. This bug isn't dangerous. Whatever it is that the governments are trying to tell us, this bug is not dangerous. This is a political decision. It's not a medicinal one. And why do I keep saying this? Why am I pushing this agenda so much? You can say that I'm a tinfoil hat all you wish. I don't give a rat's ass. I really don't. I've been called all kinds of names my whole life, so none of that actually bites on me. I'm saying this because it's the truth. I'm saying this because the science backs it up. Because in heart, in bottom, I am a scientist, and I follow the science. I see what the numbers are saying. I know how to read the numbers, to be exact, because many people don't, and the politicians obviously don't know how to read the numbers, and they truly don't know how to do a PCR test or what to use a PCR test for, because it's not to diagnose anyone at all. And this is coming out more and more every time I look at the science, for that matter. But this with our elderly has to stop, or we will soon find ourselves without grandmas and grandpas, and a whole generation will be lost. A whole generation of knowledge will be lost for all time if we don't do something about it. If we don't say stop, hey, wait just a second, something isn't right here. People are dying, people are always dying, but the question is, how many are dying here? and what are they dying from? Did you know that up until this year, none has never been diagnosed of dying from the flu before? In many countries they have changed this. They have actually been giving doctors orders, not just suggesting it with bribes, that if you sign this as the bug, this death as the bug, instead of perhaps a heart attack, which also was the case, then your hospital will be given this kind of much more money than something else. The doctors have actually gone out with this information, telling this. So it's not me sitting saying this. This is actually coming from the doctors. And this has happened all over the world, which is completely corrupt. But also, people aren't dying from this bug. They are dying with the bug. They are dying from other causes. And I think it's time that we address this, because our elderly needs us, and we need them. They need to be hugged. They need to be cared for. They need their vitamin Ds. We are failing them, and if we are continuing to comply to this bullshit of an agenda, it's a political agenda, it's not a medicinal one. There is not much proof for that this bug is either dangerous, nor that it's killing people in that rate, or spreading a disease really, really fast, a disease that is supposed to be dangerous, but it's not. Like they are trying to make us think that it is. So what I want you to do is to question yourself, question the narrative that is presented to you on the news each day. They are feeding your brain repeatedly, over and over and over and over again, with the same kind of bullshit information. They are telling you to be afraid of this bug. They are telling you what to think and how to act, what to feel. Guess what to feel. They are telling you to be afraid. They are telling you to be very afraid of this bug. But how come you should be afraid of a bug that is actually not killing anyone? It is not killing more than last year. It's actually the opposite. Less people are dying this year from the flu and such, as if you look at the numbers, if you really look at the numbers. Because you have to look at who's dying from what. You can't say that the ones who died from a heart attack has died from the bug. You can't say that one who died from a blood clot died from the bug. You have to look at what actually is. You have to look at the science. We have to start doing autopsies properly again. And you who are performing the autopsies, you shouldn't be afraid. You should do your work. You choose your profession due to a reason. We all did. And it's all of our civil duty to our fellow man to act upon our own oath and do what is right and tell the truth. because you know what? The government aren't going to do that. You know why? Because they're politicians, and politicians mostly lie. That we know. That's not something that is new. So why do we believe that things will be different this time than any other time around, if we know that most often politicians lie, and that we almost expect them to? So how can we expect something else from them? That's the definition of insanity to do. Now, I want us as people, as a human race, to start taking responsibility for everything that is happening around the world and do our part of it. Or do you want to live your life in fear? Because that's the alternative. Do you want to live your life every week, every day, waiting for the next rule to come? I mean, just during this year, how many new rules have been applied to you and your life? How many restrictions? Think about it, because there are quite a lot. They really are. And more is coming. And they are getting more and more ridiculous every time. And still, people are doing them. Even though they know better. Why? Why are you doing things you know is ridiculous? Is it because you're afraid of what your neighbor would say? Seriously, your neighbor is afraid of what you will say if they don't comply. So stop it, both of you. Start talking to each other instead and say, oh no, I'm not going to do that because it's really ridiculous. I mean, are you really going to stop singing because they think that this bug is spreading faster because of that you are singing? That your breath is coming out faster through your lungs. I mean, seriously, there are no scientific evidence of that being true. Why are you believing things that are not true? Go and look at the science. Look it up. There are peer review articles all over the place. Do your research. Start looking into things. And don't say, oh, I'm not a scientist, I can't read that. Yes, you can. You've learned how to read in school. You know how to look up words you don't understand. That's just to start with. You know how to do this. You're not stupid. None of you are. Everyone can read a scientific article. And don't let anyone tell you you can't, because you can. Because this is another thing they want. They want you to think you're stupid, but you're not. If you were stupid, they wouldn't give you a loan, because they wouldn't trust you to be able to pay it. And yet, how many loans have you got? How much money have you borrowed during the years? So come on, you can do this. And I can tell you for a fact that the PCR test that they are telling you is so good and everyone should take. They are actually trying here to get people to take it as a Christmas present. I mean, how ridiculous is that? First thing is that this test has a false positive rate of 97%. During the last 3 months, 20 scientists have done a peer review study on this article that is actually all testing around the world is based upon this article. And they have found these 20 scientists who are independent, because that's what a peer review article is about. It needs to be studied by independent researchers. This article has 10 huge flaws in it. 10. And these are all from economical to medicinal and scientific flaws that never should have happened in the first place. So we really need to start questioning things. And I can go into that on another video here, but for now I'm going to round off here, because we need to really question our humanity, and we need to start finding the human being in ourselves again, because we can't let our elderly get punished for being old. They are very dear to us in so many ways, and we need to take care of them as they have took care of us. We need to hug them. We need to be there for them. We need to care for them and make them laugh with them, spend Christmas with them, share our thoughts and views with them. These are the generations that have lived through the Second World War, and that information is invaluable. That's the information we need to share, learn from, because that's what is happening right now. History is repeating itself, and we need to understand why. So take the afternoon off tomorrow, cancel whatever meetings or plans you had, and go and visit one of your elderlies and give them a hug, because they need it and you need it. And give them a long hug, because that's actually when the oxytocin in your body releases. Hug them long, hug them dearly, talk to them, drink coffee and have some cake. Enjoy each other's company, because you deserve it. And start to stop this bullshit that is going on around the world. We need each other. I don't mean to sound harsh when talking about this. It's just making me so upset to see how far this has come. How we have stopped being humans. We need to think. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.